Welcome back. It's time for Planet Coaster and the project The Tree. In the last episode we already did the layouting for the harbor. Today we are going to turn the harbor into a cozy place. Okay, this is an edited video shown in a time-lapse and post-commented, so I can't fool you. I already know what the end result will be, and this is how I imagine a harbor that is less about shipping and more designed for public traffic. A romantic place where you can get something to eat, get a coffee or an ice cream, and then sit down with it on one of the benches. Enjoy the beautiful weather, let your eyes wander over the water, and just let your mind wander as well. I would love to be there right now. But back to work. We have 5 shops or service buildings that are ready to be developed into real buildings. Maybe even a little more. And all the buildings should look different, of course, but we will always use roughly the same building materials. Obviously, it's a harbor, it's a nature-based project, so the choice of materials is limited. A lot of wood. I've been thinking, I will build some of the houses with a stone base. Close to the lake, it's probably safe to assume that the water will overflow the banks from time to time. Basements are not an option anyway, but a slightly raised stone base is more likely to keep water out than a purely wooden house. Nevertheless, as we will see in a moment, some of the shop owners here have sufficient confidence in the constant weather situation that they have dispensed with such safety measures. So, let me see if I can manage slightly different building styles. I'm not going to lay out the buildings first, but just build on top of them. It's a bit a matter of taste. Most of the time it makes more sense to pre-build the buildings in an area first, to get a feel for the size and the space taken up. I think with 5 buildings in a row we can manage without a layout, right? So guys, I'm going to take a break for a few minutes and hope you like the music. Don't go away, I'll be right back for you. In the end, there are 6 buildings. This house here is in its final stages. I initially planned a barn or a warehouse here. I'm pretty sure you can use something like that at the docks, even if there's no shipping. But then, I don't know how that happens. Then things got out of control. I used many more components than would be good for the project and the performance of my computer. And it became a warehouse with a small rental flat for spa guests. Oh, speaking of performance, I think I've found a trick. It is noticeable that the recordings hook when I've created the cinematic shots. This happens much less often with the recordings for the construction phase. So, 2 things are different. 1, I switch off the user interface for the cinematic shots, and 2, I often hold down the mouse button to have an anchor point and execute movements in Planet Coaster with a keyboard. I will test this further to finally be able to present proper end screens. Well then, folks, that promised, I'm going to extend the backs of the houses a little bit. There's going to be a forest there, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Glad you turned in. See you again in the next episode. Until then, bye bye.